see on the interception?
I don't know. I got hit, so I was asking guys on the sideline what happened. So I haven't even seen the play actually, so I'm not even sure.
And then that last fourth down, did it get tipped?
Yeah, it got tipped.
Obviously, we had talked to you about before the game, like how you might respond to whatever the crowd reaction was. Obviously, there were some boos out there. Just what was your kind of reaction in the moment?
I mean, I didn't have no reaction. I think the biggest thing is, I think you guys know too, and I think the whole world knows. It has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit personal than that. So, I think that's it's a disrespectful thing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep whatever I feel with me and my family internally on how I feel about that, and yeah, just move on.
But don't you think, Deshaun, that winning and playing better would eliminate some of that booing?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So does that have to do with, what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
Does any of that make you regret coming here?
No, I don't regret anything in my life. I think the Lord put me through situations for a reason, so I don't regret anything at all. But
he regrets it. Guaranteed he regrets it. He's not telling the truth right there. So as y'all know, the Cleveland Browns have named their starting quarterback Deshaun Watson. A lot of people are shocked, especially after this press conference after the game in week 2. You thought for sure it was going to be Shedeur Sanders. So everybody's in shock about Deshaun Watson being named a QB1 for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not shocked. I've seen it a mile away. I figured this could happen. Was Shedeur Sanders outed? Was he wronged? I don't believe so. You have to look at the whole situation. Deshaun Watson, remember? That was a big factor. Not only that, he's a veteran quarterback. There's a few key things here. Did Shedeur Sanders play better than Deshaun Watson in the second outing of week 2, you want to call it? Yeah, you can say, yeah, he played better. Look good. But was it a clear advantage of where he just shot it off the charts where you say, this is our starter? Maybe not. He's a young guy. Cleveland Browns are looking to move forward. The fan base is backing Shedeur Sanders. So why don't you just put this guy at QB1? That's what everybody is questioning. But I will tell you this. It's only a matter of time. I don't understand the shock. Deshaun Watson could easily be out of Cleveland in week 6. The man is on pins and needles already. What he just did at this podium, talking about the fans, the booing, he should have just left that alone. Nothing goes right out of that situation. Him bringing up the fans and how he feel like they booing him because he was injured and all this other that's irrelevant. That don't have nothing to do with football. Fans are fans. Just go out there and work. Now him regretting coming to Cleveland, I guarantee you he regrets coming to Cleveland. Nothing good came since he landed in Cleveland. Of course, we already know about the allegations. His Achilles, being injured, missing some time. Fans turning against him, or if they were ever on his team to begin with. Shedeur Sanders is a young guy. I have to continue to state this. He has plenty of time. Yes, should they put him at QB1, him start the season, turn the page? Yeah, I agree with all of that. But you have to understand, they have to find out on their investment. They want to see, did this guy still can play football? Can he still play football? This is the last go-around. We're not looking at that. This is Deshaun Watson's last go-around of being a starting quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. In my opinion. So you have to see what he has. After Cleveland Browns sees that, then they can decide, is he a part of our franchise? Or we have to get this guy off the roster. Sit back and wait. Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns in due time. All because he's not the starter coming out in week 1 against Jacksonville doesn't mean anything. Watson has to play perfect. He already got the franchise against him. I don't want to say the franchise. I'll say the fan base. We'll start there. We'll say the fan base. But all of this is about dollars and cents. Shedeur Sanders playing a hell of a preseason, but it didn't blow anything off the charts. He's a young guy. He still can polish up some things. You have a veteran quarterback at Deshaun Watson. A lot of money invested. His last go-around. So you can look at a whole lot of bells and whistles on this thing, why this makes sense. I don't mind him going out there and starting. Because at least you're going to get to find out what you really need to know. Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the starting lineup. Don't worry about that. You hear me saying starting lineup like it's a 5 with the NBA. I told you I cross match so much. NFL, he'll be at a QB1 sooner or later. All right? So all this uproar is just crazy. It's just crazy. But I want to see what he has in the regular season. I do. And we're going to get to see that. So I'm not rooting against Deshaun Watson. I'm not. I hope he goes out there and he just plays his ass off. I'll be honest with you. So what if he's the quarterback for the whole remainder of the season? Shedeur Sanders still going to have an opportunity. Next year, he will be the starting quarterback. You know that for a fact. Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback starting in the beginning of next season. At worst, is what I'm talking about. At worst. And this is just me now. I believe Deshaun Watson is not going to finish the season as the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders will get his go. Now, I don't know how that fashion that's going to come in. Injury, knock on wood. No one ever wants to see that. All right? I hope he plays well. I do. That the booing gets to him. It becomes mental. Mistakes start to pile up. Because once it's in your head, it's in your head. All right? Or he just stinks up the place and he's throwing interceptions, not reading the defense, body language not good, can't decide whether to run or pass in the pocket, just making bad decisions. That can happen as well. All right? So, yeah, they made a decision. And I don't see nothing wrong with Deshaun Watson going out there as QB1. So, Shedeur Sanders wasn't wronged. Because if you look at the whole big picture of this thing, yes, he played well. He played well. Besides that interception, it was a perfect game by Shedeur Sanders without the interception. But when you look at it, overall, so far in this preseason, he didn't play perfect. He played good. He outplayed Deshaun Watson, some will agree, right? Especially in the second preseason game. But was it enough to say, yeah, he's a starter? No doubt about it. Shedeur Sanders is the starter. I don't think it was that good to say that. As well as he played, some things still can be polished up. So factor in the investment on Watson. Veteran quarterback on top of it. He's been there, done that, been through it. Whether he's played well or not, he's been through it. The Achilles. You have to find out what you got. Put him out there. Week 1. Pressure. Everything counts. Jacksonville Jaguars. See what he does. You got 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Find out. Things start going south. You pull the plug. Throw Shedeur in there, let him finish the season. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because once you make that switch, you're not going to make it again. That means you done made the decision. Deshaun Watson is no longer a Cleveland Brown, and you make plans to get him out of town. Simple as that. Now, wherever he goes after that, I don't see him as a starting quarterback for any other franchise, unfortunately. Prove me wrong. All right, prove me wrong. See him as a backup, good backup. But it's all about his head and listening to him in his press conference. I don't think he's still all there, especially when you're worried about the fans and the booing. I don't know, man. You shouldn't be worried about those things. You just shouldn't be worried about them. We're going to finish this out real quick, but he shouldn't be worried about booing and how he's treated by the Cleveland Browns fans. Just go out there and work, man. If it don't work out, it don't work out. Go to a different franchise, start your career all over again, however you want to look at it, as a veteran. But you have to understand you contributed to a lot of this by your play and by your off-field decisions. You soured some people. And right now you're paying for it. And a way to get back in the good graces, so to speak, play some football. Play some good football. That's how you do that.
You know, I had different thoughts on how it was going to be, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes, you know, the tables turn, and I'm patient enough because I'm a child of God to, you know, wait for that time to change. So I'm not tripping on it.
How about the quarterback competition? Do you feel like just your whole body of work, how do you feel like you have presented yourself in terms of trying to win this thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's just that's gonna be Coach Monken's decision. So, you know, I just continue to just try to win a day each and every day. And like I mentioned before, the organization, Jimmy D, AB, and Monk, Coach Monken is going to make that decision for the organization.
Do you feel like you've won the job?
I don't know. I don't even put myself. I don't even get my hopes up, honestly. I mean, yeah, I think I've done a good job to be able to lead this team and be a starter in this league. But again, you know, I don't know how other people's feelings internally. You know, I haven't talked to Coach Monk about that or anybody else. So again, you know, I'm just kind of open with you guys on how this thing's going to play out. You know, I just take it one day at a time, and you know, whenever that time comes, it comes.
Todd said he doesn't know when he's going to make it, but he wants to get somebody in place so they can start getting all the reps with the ones. And I know we talked about it before, but how valuable would that be to be the guy and then moving forward get all those ones that just went down?
Yeah, I think it's very valuable for whoever the position goes to. I mean, you gotta build that trust, you gotta build that rhythm, you gotta know how, you know, guys operate, and not just for the quarterback, but I think for the whole team, for the whole offense. For the offensive line, being able to hear one cadence, one voice, walking in a huddle, being able to know like how this person operate, how this person, you know, when things break down, you know, how this quarterback is going to operate. So, yeah, I think it's going to be helpful for not just the quarterbacks, but I think just for the whole offense and the whole team.
Good. I was going to ask real quick, Deshaun, do you feel like, you know, if you are named the starter, do you feel like some of those feelings that you talked about before, you know, will dissipate, and that you can develop a really nice relationship with Browns fans, and that you can put that stuff in the rearview mirror, or will you always carry some of that with you? What's your feeling on that?
I don't know. I mean, the only time I feel that energy is when I'm in the stadium or it's on social media. Like I mentioned before, when I'm in public, no one's mentioned anything. So I think that's the only time those people that's holding it in is trying to, you know, disrupt the energy. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a social media, players can't respond back. And in the stadium, you know, players can't respond back. So I get it. I understand it, you know. So it is what it is.
You're going to say two more. Quarterback job is tough enough. Can you defeat that negativity?
I don't know. You know, it's a mental battle every day.
It's crazy. And to be honest with you, when you watch this press conference, and this is before they made the decision, not after. Not after. They had an out. They really did. They could have just said, nah, no way this guy can be the starter. He just stirred up the fan base. He put a target on his back. Put a target on his back. How could we name him the starter? Boo birds are going to be coming out. Probably before he takes the field. I don't know if that game's away or at home against Jacksonville. Either or. In his case, he probably hopes it's on the road, like he stated. He'll take all 17 on the road. But it just doesn't do anything for him to come up there and mention that. Veteran quarterbacks should know better. But can we get it? He's all frustrated. He's heard all this before. How many seasons? Maybe he broke. Maybe he broke this time. But I'm telling you, if this man go out there and performs and turns his tide around after the whole base has been against him for how many years now? It's tough feat, man. I don't think you can climb that mountain. And the reason why, because he's not in the right headspace. You don't mention these things. If you're in the right headspace, this doesn't bother you. Obviously, all of this has been bothering him.
You know, I feel like I get more love on road games than I do home games. So if it is my spot and he does make me the name, maybe it's 17 away games then. I don't know.
What about the fact that you guys do have your first 2 on the road, your first 6 of...
I know, and I'm just talking crazy, folks. I got an idea. Start both of them. Just depending on who's home and who's away. Shedeur Sanders should start every home game. Deshaun Watson should start every away game. Problem finished. I am joking.
9 are on the road. If you win the job, might that work in your favor?
Again, I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, I thought being away for 2 years and working myself back from 2 Achilles injuries and putting the time in and, you know, being around the facility, being around the city, doing charity work in the city, you know, supporting the Cleveland Browns, you know, hanging out with fans whenever I do see them, you know, being honest, being, you know, the type of person I know I am and the character would help.
Got this man out here selling a pitch. He back so far in the corner, he has to sell a pitch. Now he's talking about what he done in the community. Man, the man's in a bad place right now. I just don't see it.
I guess it haven't. So that's why I say it's personal. So, you know, it is what it is. People have their own opinions. I can't do, you know, there's only so much you can do to change that. So at the end of the day, you know, I just have to continue to just work on it and strive to be better mentally moving forward.
You talked a lot about your mental health is something that you're really proud of despite all the backlash. What, in dark moments like maybe today or in the past, what have you kind of leaned on to help you not fall into like a dark hole or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much of like today wasn't really a dark hole. It was just kind of, it wasn't something that I didn't expect. You know, I was just kind of neutral with it, but you know, I just lean on my mom, and ultimately, I lean on my wife. That's my biggest person of peace that I have. So, you know, you might catch me during the games, during certain situations, looking up to her in the suite and just making sure, like, as long as she's there, I'll be good. I'm gonna get through it. So, you know, she's been there the whole time, you know, through my situations.
Pray for the man. Pray for the man. He needs it. He's in a special place right now. And starting this season, that man needs to be focused. Focused and semi a little heartless to get through what he got to get through. That's for sure, for number one. So I just hope his approach is the right way. It don't look like it right now. But I'm going to state this again. The people out there who are shocked that Shedeur Sanders is not QB1, we have a couple of factors here. Well, maybe a few factors. I want y'all to consider. Number one, he didn't blow it completely off the charts. He played well, but not well enough where you just say, put him in there as starter. All right? That is number one. Number two, you're looking at a guy, a lot is invested. I keep saying that. A lot is invested in this quarterback. They have to find out this season what they have. Have to throw him out there. He's coming off an Achilles, okay? He's finally ready to go. Is he a Cleveland Brown? Or do we have to put him on that train? Another factor, he's a veteran quarterback. He done seen it and done it. Played well or not. You can argue all of that. All right? You can argue all of that. You can say Shedeur Sanders is a better quarterback than he is. We can say all of this stuff. But the fact remains the same. He getting that senior discount, so to speak. All right? So they're going to put him out there. And they're going to see what they got. And if not, it's not hard. It's not hard. Shedeur Sanders will be playing and starting for the Cleveland Browns this season. My opinion, once again. Could it be week 6 or before week 6? At some point, I just believe he will be starting. And once he has it, won't let it go. Won't let it go. So just sit over there a little while longer, Shedeur Sanders. Soak it all up. Stay prepared, which I'm pretty sure you will. And it's all going to be yours in a matter of time. All right? Quick hitters. Let me know. Y'all think he was wronged, Shedeur Sanders? Think this was a bad decision, going with a veteran quarterback instead of turning the page to the new, young, vibrant, and ready? Huh? What do y'all think? This is a bad decision by the Cleveland Browns? But, man, they got to find out. They got to find out. We know that. I want to find out. I want to find out. Let's see what he got. Clock is ticking. Let's see what he got. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Making it Monday. Enjoy it. All right? We'll be back again. Stories drop. They do. But one thing for sure, NFL season is back. It's back in attack, baby. We up out of here. Stay safe. Peace.